Alright, let's continue on. So anyway, welcome back to Eden Visual Novel. Alright, let's pick off where we left off. It was warm. Something soft was touching my shoulder. Someone called to me as they shook my arm. That pleasant voice and gentle warmth wiped the sleepiness from my mind.
やっと起きてくれましたね。
Elika,
エリカ。
エリカです。
for some reason I had fallen asleep on Shion's bed, and now Elika was peering at me. I stared intensely at her carefree smile, unable to come to grips with what it was that I was looking at.
なんです？宇宙人でも見たような顔して。
いや、
ほらほら、早く顔を洗ってきてください。
Elika grabbed my hand and tried to pull me away from the bed. Is this a true or is it a dream? I don't know.
私はシーツを回収してから朝食の支度をしますから。
ああ、
どうしたんです？今さら私の美しさに見とれなくても。
Oh boy.
そんな冗談はともかく。
うわ、
気にしないでくれ。どうも夢見が悪かったらしい。
なんでしたら夢判断でもしましょうか。
できるのか？
いえ、適当に。
エリカの適当な判断なんて聞きたくない。
She would definitely come up with some worthless explanation anyway. I scratched my head and got out of bed.
はいはい。嫌な夢なんて早く忘れて、今日という日を楽しみましょう。
Elika clapped her hands together and spoke cheerfully. How did you get here in the first place? Makes me wonder.
良き一日の始まりは、美味しい朝食からですよ。
She gave me a light push on the back as I headed for the door. When I reached the washroom, I found it already occupied. What the hell?
お、少佐。おはようございます。
I quickly saluted Major Inaba, who was facing the mirror, shaving his whiskers with a razor.
おはよ
The Major quickly rinsed off his razor and casually wiped his mouth with a towel.
う。というか、 何を敬礼してるんだお前は。
No way, I can't be dreaming. Can't I? Oh my goodness.
お前はもう民間人だろうが。まあ癖になっちまってるのはわかるがな。
The major smirked and hit me on the shoulder. He hadn't changed, the same sloppy soldier he'd always been.
俺もさっさと退役しちまいたいんだがな。
He grinned as he loosened his collar, looking a little depressed.
長いこと給料もらっちまってるし、部下のことも考えると簡単にやめられないんだよ。
あなたほど宮遣いが似合わない人も珍しいですね。
朝っぱらから言ってくれるじゃないか。ま、その通りなんだけどな。
He hit my shoulder again, a little harder this time, and left the washroom. I looked in the mirror and tilted my head. I felt the same out-of-place feeling I had when I saw Elka's face earlier. Far from fading, it was growing stronger and stronger. Wasn't I forgetting something important? An incredibly nostalgic sight was laid out before me. A sight I never should have been able to see again, my lost past.
おはよう、りょう。
姉さん。
What? The very sight of my sister sitting at the living room table, my chest felt like it was burning.
どうかしたの？
なんでもない。
ずっと会ってないで座ったら？
ああ。
I sat in front of her, trying to contain how shaken I was. Wow. So this is just like a good old family reunion.
エリカと稲葉注意。じゃない。少佐は？
エリカは洗濯。少佐は身支度でもしてるんじゃないか。
ああ、エリカは朝からよく働くわね。それに引き換え、稲葉くんと来たろ。いつもギリギリまでもたもたしてるんだから、あれじゃいつになったら出世できることやろ。
Well, true. He is Mr. Lazybones after all.
少佐は別に出世したくないんじゃないか。
それじゃあダメよ。
She shook her head, her face stern.
進歩のない男の言葉なんか聞く耳持たないわ。稲葉少佐にはそう言ってあるの。
厳しいな。
まあ出世じゃなくてもいいけど、自分のやることを見つけて頑張ってる男じゃないと私は嫌よ。
自分のやることか。
My hunch was I too had something like that. Something I had to put everything on the line for. That I had to accomplish no matter what.
やっぱりどこかおかしくない？
俺が？
さっきからジロジロ私の顔見てるじゃない？そろそろ亮も姉離れしないと。
そんなんじゃない。
When I tried to answer, my voice started to shake. I couldn't believe I was able to meet my sister again. This out-of-place sensation kept growing, and I was starting to feel a little impatient.
まあいいわ。亮にだっていろいろあるものね。
My sister smiled sweetly.
亮はもう大人で自分の大切なものを見つけ出したんだものね。
姉さん。
だから休憩はここまで。
姉さん。
My smiling sister and I were standing in the place we once said goodbye. Yes, she and I said farewell on this very spot and never met again.
短い夢は終わり、長い現実がまた始まるのよ。
Short dream.
ああ、また夢か。シオンには現実を見ろとか言っておきながら何をしてるんだ。
誰の現実にだって辛いことくらいあるわ。夢の中で幸せな光景を見て、それのどこが悪いの？逃避なんかじゃないわ。いいえ、逃避だって構わない。亮は現実で戦い続けてる。私とお別れしたあの日から、いえ、そのずっと前から戦ってきたんでしょ？
ちょっと戦いすぎたみたいだけどな。
少佐。
だがお前の戦いももうすぐ終わる。頑張ったな、本当に。
俺は何もしていない。ただいつも失いたくないものがあっただけなんだ。
誰にだって大事なものがある。それを守るために戦い抜いてきたお前を俺は誇りに思うよ。
私も誇りに思うわ。私にとっても稲葉君にとっても亮は弟のようなものだもの。
姉さん、少佐。
さあ、それじゃあ亮君はそろそろ行かないと。
エリカ。
エリカ。
Elika stood there like a phantom, with a smile on her face.
亮君がこちらに来るのはまだ少し先のこと。いいえ、ずっと来てほしくない。そうですね。来ちゃダメです。亮君は生きるんです。 何があっても諦めることなく、最後まで自分の未来を。ってわざわざ言わなくても普通に生き延びそうですね。そりゃあ私の弟だから諦めの悪さは相当なものよ。
諦めない。後悔しない。自分がしたいことをする。
Well, Ryou is not an old man. He's got lots and lots of years to go.
亮にはそういう生き方が似合うな。
My sister nodded silently at the Major's smile.
はいはい。それじゃあ、りょうくん。あの子が待っていますよ。
ありがとう。
それは私たちのセリフです。りょうくんに会いに来たのは単なるおせっかいですからね。りょうくんはもう自分で正しい道を選べるから。
Elika, my sister, the Major, the people who had shown me the way forward were all smiling. Smiling and urging me to keep going. These kind people had always been there for me, right by my side. It was warm.
りょう？
Something soft was touching my shoulder. Someone called to me as they shook my arm. That pleasant voice and gentle warmth wiped the sleepiness from my mind.
起きた。
In a panic, I lifted my head and checked around me. Shion was sitting upright in bed, staring intently at me. I should have been watching over her as she slept, but at some point, I had apparently slumped over on the bed and fallen asleep myself.
すごい体勢で寝てた。
悪い。
When I checked the clock, I saw noon had long since passed. Although I remembered everything up to this morning, I hadn't been sleeping well recently and must have reached my limit.
私はいいけど、寝るならちゃんと寝ないと疲れが取れない。
ああ、
いい夢見てた？
え？
りょうの寝顔、幸せそうだった。
見てたのか？
うん。しばらく眺めてた。可愛かった。
忘れてくれ。
I had a general idea of what I saw in my dream. And indeed, I think it was a very nice dream. Though it had been short, I got the feeling I was able to recover just a little bit of the time I should have never been able to return to.
いや、夢のことなんてどうでもいい。シオン、目が覚めたんだな。
見ての通り。
Shion suddenly tried to stand, her smile a bit strained.
おい、何を。
今日はなんだか体調がいいの。
外に行きたいんだろ。
正解。
ちょっと待て。
I held her back with both hands as she tried to get out of bed. Under no circumstances could she just get up that suddenly.
今さら止めはしないが、急がないでくれ。このところずっとベッドの上でろくに歩いてもいないだろ
う。歩けないってほどじゃない。だからちょっとだけ手伝って。
わかった。
If she said she could walk, then that was that. And if she couldn't, I just had to help her.
外に出るなら着替えて髪もきちんと溶かそう。シオンは女の子なんだからな。
We headed outside after she got herself dressed. Shion's legs had practically withered away. If she didn't cling to me, she wouldn't have been able to walk, and yet she looked like she was doing well. The way she looked in a clean set of clothes, letting her neatly brushed hair flutter as she walked, it felt divine in a way.
今日も本当にいい天気。
少し風があるが日差しが暖かいな。
あったかくて気持ちいい。
行こうか。
Shion smiled and held onto my arm. Her own arms were frail and lacked strength, disturbingly so.
ごめん、りょう。
腕の1本や2本いくらでも貸すさ。
私最近ごめんとありがとうばかり言ってる気がする。
どっちも別に言わなくてもいいのにな。
What I desired weren't apologies or gratitude. If only you would simply smile, that would be enough for me.
研究所にいた頃はほとんど言ったことなかった。私いつもわがままだったの。
わがままくらい言ってもいいんだ。君は誰にとっても大事な存在なんだから。
自分でもそう思っていたのかもしれない。私 ずっとわがままを通してきた。
いいんだよ。いいんだ。
ありがとう。
I walked slowly, keeping in sync with Shion. I made sure she wouldn't fall, and that I could catch her even if she did.
ん？
鶏たちの声が聞こえない。
The caws and flapping wings of the chickens behind the house had been obnoxiously noisy until recently. Shion wasn't fond of the noise first thing in the morning, but now that it was quiet, it was lonely in its own way.
卵を産まなくなってたみたいだけど、みんな元気なの？
元気だよ。あいつらがいないと我が家の食生活が貧しくなる。
That was a lie. The number of chickens had halved since Shion fell into her intermittent fits of slumber. The cause was uncertain, but they'll probably be wiped out soon enough.
もう一度目玉焼き作りたい。
散歩から戻ってきたら卵を産んでるか確認してこよう。
作ったら寮に食べさせてあげる。
楽しみだな。
We walked through a quiet world where even the cries of the chickens couldn't be heard. Jeez, what the heck's ringing on my phone? Same number. I don't even know the number. I'll check it later. We walked through the... Anyway, let me read it again. We walked through a quiet world where even the cries of the chickens couldn't be heard. Like in the past, we walked this familiar path, snuggled together. After walking for a while, suddenly and without warning, Shion's legs gave away from under her.
シオン。
大丈夫。
She kept her eyes forward as she tried to fix her posture. Her body was so slender that I worried she might get carried away by the wind. A thin trail of sweat was running down her cheek.
自分の足で歩きたいの。
Shion held onto me as she concentrated on straightening her knees, and although she seemed like she would stagger, she managed to stand.
歩いてどこへ行くんだ？
私の好きな場所へ。
Well, let's see. I'm gonna end it here for now, shortly, but we'll continue the last remaining part of the story for now. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.